Hello, baby.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
Guys, I am so drunk right now. And do you know why?
Why?
Because I fucking drank all the champagne in the Nile, baby.
Enough champagne to fill the Nile?
That's right.
Well, and unfortunately for you, the murderer poisoned that champagne, so your faculties would be impaired and you'd be unable to solve the murder.
Champagne, alcohol does not agree with me. Or does
or
sailing,
water.
what does he say?
Boats.
Water.
I forgot.
He also, that was another good line where he's like, the champagne, it loosens the mouth and the emotions.
Yeah.
And he does a little hand thing.
He's kind of acting his ass off a little bit. Like he's like every sad scene, he gets teary eyed and everything.
I think I have problems with this movie that we'll get into, but I think he's doing a pretty good job.
No, I think he's
Branagh,
like the best. He's the best part of the movie. I mean,
yeah,
he's the
absolutely. The best parts of the movie. I mean, my problem is that there wasn't more like Poirot investigating and interrogating.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my issue with it. If the movie was more of that, then I'd be like, yeah, 10 out of 10. Good job, Kenneth Branagh.
Good job.
But for some reason, he wasn't. He was not self-absorbed enough to make himself.
He's not. What was the quote? Like, you are like a bombastic, self-indulgent, obsessive,
vain man.
A vain man.
Instead, the movie we got too much.
She called him a freak, which is
she called him a
pretty
freak.
Good.
Which should have been used for a little cannibal on board. So
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, welcome to Style Direction Bonus Con BC before
Bone Con.
Bone Con. BB-8.
That's
BB-8.
Bone Con.
Punch it.
Bone Con. That's just like the caveman. That's like the caveman convention.
What if
all the
there was so many variations
of
B-Con, and what if we got to Bornicon, like
what?
Like, so there's alpha,
the
delta variant of BonerCon, okay. But what if it got to Omicron, but then it became Bonicon? Anyway.
BonerCon?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about Death on the Nile. You guys asked for it, and by that I mean no one did.
I don't think a single we.
I guess American audiences asked by this when in 2017 they went to see Murder on the Orient Express in droves. And of course, who was there? I don't think we were there opening weekend. Who was there at one of those screenings? We were.
Screenings or just showings?
It was a screening. It was a special screening.
Yeah, which technically happened to us after this one because we had to answer a questionnaire afterwards.
Yeah, I was kind of embarrassed when they were like, "Oh, since you're here opening weekend," and I'm like, "Oh God, yeah, I am."
I mean, in our defense now, I think movies are so easy to watch if you have AMC A-list. So it's
unfortunately, on the survey that they gave us under "Why did you come to see the movie today?" there was no option for to see it for my podcast. I have to see this for my podcast.
Yours didn't have that? I had that on mine.
There was no write-in portion of the options there.
You want to know?
Not that I saw.
So I don't know if you guys have ever taken those stupid. Did your teachers ever give you those stupid tests where like one of them is after you finish number 3, you can turn it in, you're done. But then if you skip it, you have to do the rest of it, kind of a thing.
Oh, where it's write your name and date at the top and don't mark anything else on the page.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. On mine, there's a part where I think at the bottom of it, it's would you recommend this to someone, or why would you recommend this to someone? And what age group do you think it's for? Or who do you think the movie is for? And there's a gap between the question and the multiple choice. So I assumed that I'm supposed to write in my response. So I wrote down, it's for fashion lovers and people who like mysteries. And then I went all the way across. Then I went, back to back to left, right? How you read or fill out a paper. And then I saw the list of options. And I'm like, oh, I'm stupid.
The data entry person is gonna get that form and they're gonna be so mad.
Yeah,
they're gonna be like,
if they can even read my handwriting, so notoriously bad handwriting.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't write your name on it, right? So
Oh shoot! I did write my whole name and
his government name's on it.
Well, I forgot to write my name, and that just means I'm not going to get credit for this. I'm not going to get. It's going to be a 0.
You failed.
It's
you failed
it's a missing assignment now.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we said it, but we're talking about Death on the Nile.
We did say it.
Okay,
yeah,
we did.
but-
Okay, yeah. This is the bonus episode where we talk about movies, which is obvious to everyone who is listening to this, and you see a whole 1 hour remaining. But if you're looking at this, and you're like, "What? There's only 10 minutes left." You're gonna have to join the Discord and the podcast Patreon on patreon.com/sounddirection.
Yep.
But yeah, we wanted to see this movie because I wanted to, and we don't really, Spencer and I watch a lot of movies. Not everything is men's wearable, and also we don't have that many interesting lives to have a boys only podcast. You know what I mean? Like no
Our
offense.
lives are too boring, guys.
I mean, I think one thing I can look forward to each week is watching a movie and then going to trivia. So
There you go.
I mean, I could talk about
You
trivia.
could talk about, you could say your favorite questions.
every week, But this movie, Death on the Nile, takes place in 1937, and so, we saw the first one, Murder on the Orient Express, and we needed something to do for February.
Yeah, costumes were pretty good in that one. This one, they're not as good, but they're not bad.
They're not bad. No, they're not bad.
Not bad at
I really
all.
like this. I watched it the second time. I definitely took a nap because it was after the Rose
was
Bowl.
there.
And this
And
movie is fucking long and slow. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it's no. What's the movie we watched recently that was really
I
slow?
don't know. The slow man's game.
The Slow Man's Game.
Nightmare Alley.
No, yeah, Nightmare
there-
Alley.
what did
That
it-
was
that
so
is,
long.
and that's also very long.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was debating on using that for one of the bonus episodes because I mean, Spencer, did you watch it?
Nightmare Alley. I put it
It's
on
on HBO now.
TV. Yeah, it's on HBO. So
Yeah.
I put it on, and I watched like the first, I don't know, probably like hour of it.
Yeah.
And then I had to like kind of get up and like do chores and work on my laptop, and so I would just periodically come into the living room and watch 5 or 10 minutes at a time.
You just watched
So-
Bradley Cooper mentalize people.
Yeah, so I came in when he's doing the thing in the big round club, and I'm like, ooh, I want to see what's going on here.
Did you?
And that's how I experienced the movie. Yeah, but I missed a lot of it. At some point, I'm gonna have to watch
That's
watch
the only
it
part that
like
you've
fully.
experienced.
But I did see the first hour when he's a carny. I saw that part.
I actually will say, and hey, this is a good thing because now people will have to listen to this before they listen to the rest of it. But I actually like the costumes in Nightmare Alley a lot.
Dude, the Nightmare Alley costumes were really good. That was
Yeah.
something. They were all great. Yeah.
I was telling MJ I think every time we saw him wear a suit, especially the tuxedo, the white tie that he wears in the circular room for the rich people. That's one of the best tuxedos I've seen on screen. That's a
Yeah.
modern movie.
Recent movie tuxedos.
Mhm.
Yeah, the all the costumes look great. A lot of the stuff, I mean, again, I only really saw the first hour, but all the workwear stuff that you see, Willem Dafoe and all the
Oh,
other
yeah.
carnies, that's all really good too.
What's the name of the little baby that he has? That he's this is my favorite one. It's called Zebulon or something like that.
Oh,
And then-
Enoch.
Enoch, yeah, Enoch.
The Resident Evil baby or the
Yeah, with
That's
the
right. Yeah.
the third eye. Yeah, no, I like that movie. It's very long, and I think Death on the Nile. It didn't feel as long. I think it's because maybe Nightmare Alley is probably just a better movie. It's not great, but it's probably a better movie than Death on the Nile.
I think it's a better movie than this. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, what MJ, were you able to watch the first movie, Murder on the Orient Express, today?
I was going to. I couldn't find a reliable or legal way to watch it.
A
For free.
privateer way as opposed
But,
to the
Yeah, because it's not on Netflix.
Pirates.
So
yeah,
and I'm not gonna use
pay for it.
Spectrum On Demand or whatever the service is called.
That's actually kind of funny. My mom recently was like, "You should watch this animated, one of the animated movies." I think it was it's not Florence and the Machine, but it's a similar title to that. That just got nominated for best animated
Animation.
feature for the Oscars. Yeah,
Mm.
and my mom was like, "Oh, you got to watch it. We just rented it on Amazon. You guys can log into our thing and watch it." My brother goes, it's on Netflix. And she's like, what? And so, well, I applaud you, MJ, for doing your due diligence before resorting to
there
other
was
methods.
none of the streaming services that I have access to or use had it, so too bad.
Yeah.
Too bad. But do we want to start do we want to I mean, everyone knows. I'm assuming everyone that listens to this knows who like Poirot the character is already.
Poirot. I mean, I had never seen. I mean, this is not an episode on the entire Agatha Christie adaptations because there's so many of them. I mean, and a lot of them are like really good. I just have never seen them.
The old like PBS or
I forgot the actor's name, Sirac or whatever his name is, the British guy who played him.
There's a lot of love for those. I know people really like that. But yeah, he's. I mean, I guess really quick recap. He's like a Belgian, right?
Yeah, he's a Belgian
detective.
Yes, he's a private investigator. He's not like he's like Sherlock Holmes, right? Like,
yeah, he's very like fastidious, like very I don't know, like dandy. He enjoys clothes and he enjoys like the finer things in life, quote unquote, and like
and
a
the
big
sweet
part
things.
Of his character. And the sweet things. And a big part of his character is that he always wants to look like, sharp and put together.
I thought you were going to say he's a little OCD, but...
Well, he is,
I mean, technically, yeah.
He can only can only eat 6 desserts, not 7.
That's right.
The one thing I do like about these movies is that they are, like big... This is gonna sound like such a fucking cliche, like movie critic thing to say, but they're like visual feasts. There's like this one I didn't like as much as Orient Express because so much of it was like,
which you would think is
and digital.
The more, I mean, they're both very CGI heavy movies for any shots of the thing. I think the second time I watched it, I did appreciate the visuals more of the Karnak and the Nile. I like all of the exposition shots of the people who live on the Nile, the animals and everything. I think that was pretty cool to see. I haven't seen Murder on the Orient Express in 5 years, so
geez. But this last one, it was like a big cast, a lot of cool costumes. This one also a big cast, and a lot of interesting costumes.
Yeah, so if we think about this is like the summer version of the Murder, because Murder on the Orient Express takes place inside a train during like the dead of winter. Obviously, an avalanche or something stops the train, which is when the murder happens or something, or they go into a tunnel. I forgot what the fucking story is. But this one is like, summer 1937, and it's rich people. It's the bourgeois. It's the people just celebrating a wedding on a boat
on the Nile. They have a chef.
Now, I totally forgot this movie was being made. I totally confused it with the next chapter of Knives Out. I don't know if it's called Knives Out 2 or if it's just called something else because I don't know if it'll make sense, but Daniel Craig also is doing a murder on a boat thing, right? Because it's like,
oh, that's right.
Yeah, so I totally forgot about this movie, and they're kind of like fun characters. Again, I do agree with Spencer that the Knives Out series is not a whodunit because you saw who did it, and then you don't have to guess.
I like the guessing.
That's why this one was more even though Knives Out is a good movie, I think this movie is more enjoyable, especially more than on the Orient Express. And to be clear, I'm aware of the character of Poirot, but I have never seen it. So the twist on Orient Express was a big one to me, even though I had later on to be like, oh, that's what other things have been copying. The one, I mean, I don't want to spoil it for MJ, but it's very we're all guilty Spartacus type of thing.
Oh, okay. I'm the blue Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Only real
and
ones
then
get that one.
This one, compared to Orient Express, is much more straightforward because there's not really a twist. It's more of just who did it, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, it seems pretty obvious.
Yeah.
It's like the whole time I was like, I mean, it's gotta be him, right?
Yeah,
There's no
or
way
her.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Yeah.
again, I had only seen this. I had seen trailers for this for the past like year, just like with No Time to Die, and God, what was the other thing we saw? There's a couple of movies that we've
The
seen
other
where
movie. I mean,
I don't know,
there
Dune?
are just so many movies
Dune?
that.
Oh, you did it the last time.
Not again.
Merry Christmas! Well, because it's Christmas every year.
But this
It's
is
Christmas every year.
How many days until Christmas, Spencer?
Looking at the calendar, I calculate that there are 253 days. That was the robot part of my brain took over.
well. How about some food for me?
Glug glug
Some
glug.
food for you.
That's what it sounds like when you
There
drink
it is.
oil.
Well,
It's thick.
guys, if you want to hear more about the death on the Nile and who done it and who did it and what they were wearing, you'll have to go to patreon.com/styleanddirection to get that full ep, baby. But you don't get just that ep. You get access to our
There's more.
you get access to our Discord, baby. Our Patreon Discord where people are talking all the time. There are a bunch of chatterboxes over there.
Some
They're a bunch of
CDs,
chads.
man.
CCBs, CCs, and TTs.
That's right.
Titties.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That's what
There's,
Discord's all about.
that's right, baby. There's a whole section for leaked nudes, and
That's not true.
it's not true.
That's-
It's not
we-
true.
We have a
But yeah,
happening.
please join us
thing.
if you love that kind of a thing. And if you feel like giving us $10 a month, we'd love that too, because we love saying the $10 tier names. So MJ, who are we thanking for this one?
We're thanking our Sidecast fanatics, Austin Malott, Shane Curry, Philip Gregard, Audrey Jessica, Jarrett Collian, and Henrik Wilberg. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll see you guys in the next one, baby.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
There's an alien?
Alien.
I'm gonna kill it.
Okay, you gotta keep that in.